Hello, my name is Olivia Girard. I'm a master's student in data analytics at Colorado State University, and this is my capstone project developed as part of the final course in the program. The project focuses on predicting customer churn. So, the telecommunication industry is one of the most competitive sectors in the business world. After working in this field for 15 years, it became clear how significantly customer churn management could enhance a company's performance. This realization led to the decision to explore the topic by applying data analytics techniques to anticipate customer loss, identify influencing factors, and predict which customers are most likely to leave. In line with the project objectives, several research questions were posed to guide the analysis. Specifically, the study examined whether a relationship exists between customer churn with our target and various factors such as satisfaction score, tenure, monthly charges, unlimited data usage, and demographic characteristics like age. As we can see from this slide, we have the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. From the outset, it was necessary to define both methodology and method appropriate for the study. Given the quantitative nature of the dataset, a quantitative research approach was selected. The process involved uploading the dataset into RStudio, cleaning and preparing the dataset, performing descriptive and inferential statistical analysis to detect trends, outliers, and correlations. Based on this insight, a logistic regression model was constructed and subsequently tested to evaluate its ability to predict customer churn. From an ethical consideration, and because the dataset was semi-simulated, the potential for bias was acknowledged, as the data might not fully reflect real customer behaviors. Furthermore, the uphold research ethics and protect individual privacy, geographic identifiers such as zip code and geographical coordinates were excluded from the study, adhering to the principle of do no harm in research. Data analysis was conducted using RStudio. The initial steps included uploading and exploring the datasets to understand variable distributions and perform necessary cleaning. Correlation analysis was applied to assess the strength and direction of relationships between independent variables and the target churn. ANOVA and chi-square tests identified 5 variables as statistically significant. The p-value less than 0.05, including contract, internet type, offer, and payment method. To improve model interpretability, certain numeric variables such as age and tenure were transformed into categorical buckets. The dataset was then partitioned, and the logistic regression model was built to highlight predictors of churn. The model's accuracy and precision were tested to assess its performance. The exploratory analysis provided variable insight into the structure of the dataset. After removing variables for ethical reasons, as said previously, the final dataset included 47 variables, 4,225 observations, and no missing values. Among the variables, 29 were integers, 6 were numeric, and 12 were character type. Variability analysis revealed that most variables had moderate relative variabilities, except for tenure, which showed high variability. A coefficient of variation between 0.3 and 1.5 is generally acceptable for predictive power, and the variables used in this study as independent variable met that threshold. As shown in figure 1 here, the distribution of numeric variables was skewed, indicating non-normality. Categorical variable plots showed limited variability in certain features, such as country, quarter, and state, which had 2 values. Correlation analysis in figure 2 here showed generally weak association with the target churn, except for satisfaction score. Following the exploratory analysis done previously, ANOVA and chi-square tests were conducted. So, as shown in figure 3 in this slide, both tests identified 7 variables as statistically significant, meaning p-value less than 0.05, qualifying them for inclusion in the model. In contrast, gender had a p-value greater than 0.05 and was excluded from the study, as it did not appear to meaningfully influence the dependent variable churn. To develop the logistic regression model, the dataset was first divided into train and test subsets. The train set was used to build the model, which was then evaluated using the test set. 4 variables were found to significantly impact churn. We had age group, tenure group, contract, and payment method. For instance, customers in the senior age group were more likely to churn, while those with longer tenures or longer contracts showed a reduced likelihood of leaving. Payment by credit card also slightly decreases the change of churn. Although satisfaction score was initially assumed to be a key factor, it was not statistically significant. His p-value was equal 0.96. And that is possibly due to multicollinearity with other variables. The confusion matrix helped assess how effectively the logistic regression model classified observation into churn and non-churn categories. As illustrated in figure 5 here, the model achieved an overall prediction accuracy of 95.11%. It correctly identified 86.61% of customers who churn and 98.17% of those who did not churn. This suggests that the model was especially strong at detecting customers likely to stay, although slightly less accurate at identifying those likely to leave. The ROC curve shown in Figure 6 was plotted well above the diagonal baseline, indicating good classification performance. An AUC, area under the curve, of 0.98 demonstrated excellent discriminatory power with a 98.42% probability of correctly ranking a churn customer over a non-churn one. Based on the analysis, several key insights emerge, and what we can keep as summary is that the dataset did not follow a normal distribution, and most variables showed only weak correlation with the target variable churn. Nevertheless, the predictive model demonstrated excellent performance with a 95.1% accuracy and an AUC of 0.98. The variables tenure group, contract type, and senior age group were identified as the most significant predictors. On the other hand, satisfaction score and unlimited data usage were not found to have meaningful effects on churn within the model. The analysis was limited by time constraints, which prevented comparison with alternative predictive models and inclusion of interaction effects that could have improved the model explanatory power. Furthermore, the use of a simulated dataset may reduce the generalizability of findings, as it may not fully reflect real-world customer behaviors and patterns. The rejection of the null hypothesis led to the conclusion that variables such as tenure group, contract type, age group, and payment method are statistically significant predictors of customer churn. Although the logistic regression model demonstrated strong discriminatory power and an overall accuracy of 95.1%, further evaluation with alternative model is recommended to demonstrate the most effective approach. Moreover, applying the model to real company data will help validate its predictive strength and support the development of more targeted retention strategies, such as incorporating age and tenure into loyalty programs. Here is some references used to write this project. Thank you very much.